Hello and welcome. Silrace here with Star Citizen. Today I want to talk about gimbal mounts versus fixed mounts. As you can see, I am on an Avenger here, Avenger Stalker to be precise, since they were split into a few different ship models or categories or whatever. Few different Avengers now. By default, this particular ship comes with both types of weaponry. On the nose there is a gimbal mounted machine gun, and on the wings, if you move the mouse cursor over there, as you can see it's now on that particular asteroid, you can see that the fixed wing mounts shoot straight forward. They do not go where the mouse cursor is, the green circle. Yes, that's where the nose-mounted gun still fires though. And let's talk about that for a bit. For anybody, this is basically aimed to anybody who doesn't, well, necessarily know the difference between gimbals and fixed mounts. That is the difference. Gimbal allows you to fire where the, essentially, think of it, the green circle as it's where the mouse cursor is on the screen, essentially, but think of it as the primary firing reticle or the secondary firing reticle, depending on your weapon loadout, weapon system. And the main screen reticle here in the middle is where the fixed weaponry fires, while the green ring is where the gimbal weaponry will be firing towards. Alright. Now, why should you use one over the other? Firstly, remember you sacrifice weapon size to put them on the gimbal mount. At least on the ships we currently have available. Who knows what happens with big capital ships? They might all be mounted on gimbal. You know, actual turrets which are extended out of the hull of the ship. Who knows? Who knows? Probably people at the development and the design end of this game have a clue. Very likely, but right now we don't really know yet what all will happen with those. The problem with mixing the two weapon types is that it will be much harder to actually dogfight somebody, because when all of your weapons are one category or the other, you can engage a certain kind of fight much easier. Now, if I use this beam platform here as my target of choice, by going towards it like this, I can very easily bring all of my guns to bear on it. However, as soon as I get near it, I'm gonna do this on a rather slow speed so you know what the heck I'm doing and talking about. As soon as I get rather close to it and would like to start firing my fixed mount still at it, as you can see, it will be much harder for me to do so, especially once I get past it. I will have to turn around fully and then bring my guns to bear. That's the problem with the fixed mounts, right? However, fixed weaponry, like I said, you will sacrifice weapon size to go gimbal mounts. Weapons mounted on gimbal turrets are smaller in size. They are one category smaller. And so, I can go over this thing, I can keep flying over this thing, and I can keep firing at it. All the while with this nose-mounted gun, on the various sections of it even. As you can see, I could pick and choose which part of the ship I want to fire at. And it makes it easier for me to maneuver around it and keep firing. And that's what you do with gimbal mounts. Gimbal mounts allow you to track multiple targets, possibly, even easily, like this. And when you combine it with fixed weaponry, using those together on same target is going to be really difficult. Especially when we are talking moving targets and not stationary platforms like this one. I mean, I can stop here and I can keep firing at it forever. It won't blow up though, unfortunately. But whatever. Whereas, if you are in a dogfight with somebody who is trying to circle around you or trying to joust you or whatnot, then it is going to be that much harder to bring your guns to bear if you have a mixed loadout. So my big recommendation is to never mix the loadout, if at all possible. If you have certain personal preferences of what you want to do, what you personally want to mix the loadouts, that's obviously up to you, but then you probably know exactly what you want to do. You might be very familiar with your loadout setup already and so forth. For newer players who are not familiar, who are still experimenting, still wanting to find their groove, I suggest pick one or the other. Either go all fixed mounts, so that you always have to, track your target through the actual targeting reticle in middle, or go all gimbal, which allows you to track your targets like so. And that is simply put my recommendation for anybody who happens to be, well, new to the game. Now you should know what is the, well, real difference between fixed and gimbal mounts, after this video at least, and pick one or the other. That's just what I recommend. Pick one or the other, don't mix them. Thank you very much for watching.